Hey everyone, this is Jay from NerdCollect. Today we'll be looking at McFarlane Toys and DC Direct Robin action figure. This is based off of Damian Wayne's first appearance in Batman Reborn series. Let's take a quick look at its packaging. Just like any of the other page punchers, it's completely unwrapped in its plastic bubble, so you get a clearer view of everything that's inside. In the back, you get to see the first issue of the Batman and Robin comic book from the Batman Reborn series. Just for reference, here's both the original and platinum DC Multiverse Dick Grayson Batman figure. Now let's open him up and see what we have. And here's Damian out of package. A lot of good things that I want to talk about. A few negatives too as well that we're going to get into. But here's a quick look at Damian Wayne as Robin. Figure stands about 6 inches in height. The other McFarlane toys are in a 7-inch scale, so as Damian being young, he'll definitely be smaller compared to the other toys. And as far as accessory goes, this is all that Damian Wayne comes with. He gets a sword or katana. It's a pretty long sword compared to his size. Standing up next to him is almost up to his chest. You also get Professor Pig's mask cut in half. Unfortunately, there's no way for it to be attached together. Wish they put a tab, something to put them together, but they're basically just two pieces. Also, of course, it comes with a DC stand, just standard compared to the other figures, and a card with his small bio on the back. We get a closer look at the free comic book that it comes with. Again, this is the first issue of Batman and Robin. And in the back is just a standard DC logo. And here's the action figure. Let's look at its paint app. On the top, it has some blue highlights. Its red tunic is basically plain red with little, I don't know if you could see it, little shadow details on the underarm. His arms and legs have textured details. Depending on the layer of armor, some are textured and some are just smooth. The back, the red tunic has more lines. This is sculpted in and painted on, and it's really done well. Very little smudges. It's pretty clean. And the sides, some detailed armor. Again, this part is smooth while the top layer is a little bit more rough. See the difference in texture. The boots with the laces. Again, the paint app's really well done. Bottom, you'll see the textured bottoms. Its face paint is really clean. I have no problems with its paint app. Now let's take a look at his articulation. That moves around, rotates all the way, looks up, and looks up this much, but it doesn't really look down. His jaw or chin is kind of keeping away, so it tilts it this much, tilts side to side. Arm goes up this much, it rotates. Double jointed elbows, pretty decent articulation right there. Its hands twist, and its gauntlets are actually in a separate piece, so it actually rotates on its own, separate from its hands. There's not much ab crunch There's a weird plastic rubber outside that makes you kind of move it a bit. You don't get much movement in there. It's pretty interesting what they did here. I see what they're trying to do. Wish they could develop that a little bit more, but again, not much ab crunch or not gonna get much articulation right there. Legs splits this much just because of the tunic goes up this much. Again, the tunic is on the way, so we can't get as far as it should be able to go to. You don't get back that much either. And you get still, just like the elbows, you get double jointed knees. Goes back that much. The boots kind of hinders the articulation as well, so it goes up and down just a little bit. You get the toe articulation as well. Move side to side a little bit. But again, boots hinder that top part. I'm pretty intrigued on what they're trying to do in the waist. I think it's a good idea. I just don't think it was as effective as they wanted it to be. Is there any figures that they made it work? Let me know. I'm not quite sure if they did. Now, what I'm really excited for is this wired cape. I think this was executed really well. You see stitching on the sides. It doesn't really bother me much. I thought it was done pretty well. You can definitely be creative and do a lot of poses. Something like the wind blowing, maybe a jumping or running scene. You could just crunch it up this way, leave it down. I really like what they did with this one. You also get wires on the edges of the hood. Fortunately, there's like some strings right there. There's some strings sticking out, some threads. You could just cut that up. But I kind of like what they did with the hood. It's a little bit tight. Wish they give it a little bit more room, but you definitely squeeze it in there. And you could also still bend it closer to his face. I think it's nicely done. This looks really good. Definitely a big fan of what they did over here. Really well done. And this is Damian Wayne as Robin. It's a really good action figure. A few good points is I love the wired cape that it has, especially its hood. Paint app is amazing, done really well. Its sculpt and aesthetics definitely captures the Batman Reborn series, so they've got a really good job on that. Some negatives in this figure. I wish some of the articulations are a little bit better. I wish there was more ab crunch that would be able to give you more dynamic poses, especially for a Robin figure. The boots kind of hinders its movement. The head doesn't tilt down as much as it could. The bottom of its tunic kind of hinders the extension of his legs. That's kind of a bummer. But overall, it is a great figure. It's a great representation of Damian Wayne as Robin from the Batman Reborn series. You could pair him up with the Dick Grayson Batman. I suggest you pick this up, especially if you're a fan of Damian Wayne as Robin. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and hope to see you soon.